Hi everyone, welcome to it's a recording, not a stream. Today and yesterday were my days off, fortunately, in which I woke up at 3 p.m. on both days, because within those sleep hours, I was listening to affirmation meditations during the night. And this led to an incredible dream that lasted 2 days. A story, a hero's journey. It began with me, I'm gonna read it to you because I wrote it down so I don't forget. It began with me living my day in real life. I was cleaning my home, and at some point during the day, I decided to move my drying clothes to another room so I could have more space in my bedroom. And so I moved them to the extra room that I had, with a slightly open window and plenty of sunlight to dry them off. At some point though, during the night hours, I felt a lot of humidity in my home, and I ran upstairs only to witness the roof walls drenched in water and dripping on both rooms. This was unusual since it was summer and I lived in a very well kept home. As I tried to grab anything I could save from the wet clothes, uh, I tried to search where the water was gathering from, and I realized that the room was double the size it was before. And within the corner of the room, at the back, uh, sat a small boy with his head hidden curled up in his knees and arms. Um, he was crying and was in a lot of emotional pain. I could see it in his eyes. I walked slowly towards him, observing around to see where he came from, and as I drew closer, his eyes looked at me, filled with tears and sadness. In that moment, I felt my body turn sides on my bed, because it's a dream, and the scenery changed. The boy was now a little older and was playing outside in the field while I was at work, and suddenly we heard a loud horn um, from afar, and as it grew louder and came closer to us, we realized that it was the king and his army, and they were gathering towards our home, which is a dream. It's weird. um, where was I? Okay. We both looked at each other and ran towards our home, waiting outside for them to arrive at the doorstep. What in the world am I dreaming? I said to myself in my thoughts. This isn't an anime. The king sent over a soldier who conveyed a message to us. You are to be escorted to the castle immediately for training. I stared at the king straight in the eyes and wondered why he wanted us, and heard a voice in my head. This is not what it seems. You are not here. I felt my body turn again in my bed, and the scene changed again, to my disappointment, since I wanted to see what was going to happen. The next part of the dream, I had been traveling a lot and gathering herbs and information about a new threat that was storming in our country. Dragons roared the skies, and almost every day was darkened with smoke and fire. But this was now ordinary visuals, daily routine. It did not matter to me since I was living a peaceful life, disconnected from the rest of the people. I was happy, and the only thing on my mind was how the boy was doing in the castle. He was now a part of the army, hidden within the thousands of soldiers with his own rank. and no one knew who he was and how powerful he had become. His main mission: hunt dragons and tame them. Yeah, that reminds me of a cartoon right now. This dream went on for 2 days, well, 2 nights, from 3 a.m. at night to 3 p.m. next day when I woke up. In the next parts, I was an observer of his life in battle. He would rise up slowly as he tamed one dragon after the other until he had an army of them following him anywhere he went. But he would not kill them or make them fight. His goal was to bring peace to the land without violence or dragons. Since there was already wars happening, wars of men. Until one day, my final turn in bed, I watched a ceremony in the great halls of the king. It was a spectacular view, like long halls, columns everywhere, torches, and 1,000 people watching over the king. Right, let's get back to it. Okay. Yes. Until one day, my final turn in bed, I watched a ceremony in the great halls of the king. He was standing in front of thousands of soldiers dressed in armor, with spears high to their side and flags red beside them. Yeah. As he thanked the people for their honor in battle and rewarded them with a great speech, he stopped and the room became silent. Nothing could be heard. No echoes in the great halls for a few seconds. He calls out a name, and from within the army, a soldier begins to walk through them all, slowly getting closer to the king's throne steps. He appears finally at the front, and I get a glimpse of myself. The view of me, as an observer, dressed in noble attire, looking at him, bending his knee, placing his sword in front of him, and bowing to his king. My eyes straight at him, and his eyes at the floor. I remembered the day I found him in the dark and rainy room in the corner of my apartment. The king steps forward and commands him to stand up. Take off your helmet. Whispers were heard around the room as I glared at them all. His face was now visible as he looked up towards the king and the king spoke. You are now free, young one. Go home. In that moment, a loud roar filled the room with cheers from the army soldiers, and in an instant, I woke up to find myself in bed at 4 p.m. on the second day, listening to the midday sounds of cars and people muttering their usual nonsense. Great dream, I guess. Well, this is the end of the dream, and I wrote like a little paragraph underneath, so I'll read it to you. Great dream, I guess. I'll write it down and see what it means. So I thought. And so I'm here, guys, recording this so it never gets forgotten. Thank you for listening. And if you have any interpretations of this dream, please write it down in the comments below. And I think, you might have a few references, since we all watch anime or movies or whatever, like. So yeah, parts of it are coming in, but I think it means it's more than those movies and anime might have contributed to the dream, but I think it has a bigger meaning. That's why I sent it over to you. Um, so yeah, if you have any interpretations of it, if it means something to you, write it down in the comments below and tell me about it so I know. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you stayed until the end, please press the like button if you liked it and subscribe for more content. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. I think uh, it will most probably be an AI Chris kind of video or conversation or something else. These ones are rare. Anyway, have a great day and thank you for listening. See you on the next one. Bye.